Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Your Morning Drive. I am your host with the most, Logan Lewis, back at you with another episode coming to you from the Fireworks Studio in Marietta, Georgia. We're super excited to be there today. They offer a creative co-working space for entrepreneurs, business owners, and everybody in between. If you're like me and you like a little studio to record content or podcasts in, here we are. It's a nice little space. And yeah, if you want to try them out, if you're working from home, if you're doing something where you have the flexibility to work anywhere and you want to get out of your current environment and try something new, you can try Fireworks. They're just down the street from Marietta Square. And if you tell them that I sent you, you can try them for free, for a free day pass. They'll let you use the space for free. You can hang out in the common areas, throw some headphones on, hang out for the day on me, and you won't be disappointed. They have lovely staff, lovely refreshments, great coffee machine, and really cool members that you'll meet and network with along the way. So go ahead and give them a shout. Tell them Logan sent you from Your Morning Drive, and they'll hook you up. Of course, before we dive in, I want to ask that you follow along on whatever you're listening on, whether it's YouTube or Spotify or Apple or wherever you're getting your audio content. I request that you follow along so that when new episodes come out on Wednesdays, you're the first to know about them. Our episodes drop at 5 a.m. So no matter where your morning drive happens, you'll be able to tune in if you're a, blue collar worker and you tune into work at 5 o'clock in the morning. Our episode is there for you when you wake up and get on your morning drive. See how many times I can fit that into an intro. So go ahead and follow on those platforms and leave a review or a rating. It would help me out a lot and I would appreciate it. Similarly, follow on social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, all of the places to make sure you're getting the companion to your morning drive. Of course, listening is lovely, but following along on social is a great way to stay in touch with the show, to see clips, the guests, sponsors, all of the things are on social. Plus, I do giveaways on there every once in a while. So just get on there and if nothing else, you'll maybe get a free gift card every once in a while. So who knows? Who doesn't love free Amazon gift cards? I mean, I love free Amazon gift cards. So I give stuff away every once in a while. So check it out. If you want merch, you can go to the Hammerhead Creations shop online, snag a t-shirt, snag a coffee mug for my boys out there and gals, whoever likes to golf. We have a golf towel that we just kind of came out with and I'm obsessed with it. Mainly because it's got my logo on it, but it's also a nice quality golf towel. And if you chunk it a lot like I do, you need that towel. And so mine gets used definitely. Everybody, my guest today is a globally recognized leader in security, crisis management, and transformational leadership with over 30 years of experience protecting Fortune 500 organizations. She's known for leading with integrity, faith, and heart of service. As president of FEW Atlanta, which stands for Fellowship of Extraordinary Women, she empowers women to embrace their calling and lead with confidence. Alongside her husband, Matt, she co-founded the Outer Circle Foundation, a nonprofit supporting veterans and first responders through PTSD awareness and career transition programs. She's also the author of Called and co-host of the podcast Chick and Dude Stuff, where she shares honest conversations on leadership, faith, and life. Please welcome my new friend, Buffy Payne. Hello.
Hello, Logan.
Thank you for being with me.
Of course, it's been a long time waiting.
I know. I'm so sorry. I told you that before, but I'm sorry, and I'll say sorry again because it'll be a couple months. In fact, people might not hear this until the new year because we are at the end of the year here, folks.
We are. Christmas is truly around the corner.
Well, by the time you hear this, Christmas
will be done.
Will have been done. But at this point, Christmas is coming. We're at that weird time where Halloween is a couple weeks away, but we're still seeing Christmas decorations out.
That's right.
And you're like, what is going on? It feels like every year they come out earlier and earlier. Sooner or later, it's going to be Easter and we're going to have Christmas trees for display.
And you're like, keep them up year round.
Honest, maybe not a bad idea.
Yeah,
because if you're like
it
me,
takes away from it though.
It does. It makes
excitement.
If Macy's plays Christmas music year round, it just doesn't feel as magical when it's actually Christmas.
That's right.
Yeah, we can't we can't have a dude dressed up as Santa at the mall year round. That'd be weird.
He'd be hot in the summer.
He would be. Plus, he's got stuff to do. He's got to prepare for the next year's
That's
Christmas.
Right.
So
it would delay presents.
it would be weird. It would be.
And it's been warmer this year. We haven't seen the leaves are not changing yet.
Not really. I've been welcoming this weather that we've gotten this weekend and this week so far. Fingers crossed that it stays and it's not one of those weird teases where George is just like, just kidding. It's going to be 90 degrees again.
That's right.
I hope that doesn't happen, but
or suddenly snow.
Right. Yeah. Not that either.
We like the fall.
We do.
Yes.
We like the crisp, like 65 to 75 degrees. Kind of like cold enough to wear a hoodie, but also warm enough to not.
That's right.
So
hoodie and shorts.
Hoodie and shorts.
Yes.
That's my recipe for success. You've heard it here first, folks. The recipe for success is hoodies and shorts. But I'm super excited you're here. You know, we were talking a little bit before that, Rich Brock and Whitney are some mutual friends of ours, and they're both awesome people.
Amazing
that do
people.
Really cool things.
They know.
And what I was going to tell you beforehand is I actually am pretty sure that you and I were in the same room, and Whitney and Rich were all in the same room together at one of Rich's shows at, I think it was, is it Three Strands?
It is Three Strands.
I'm pretty sure Rich introduced me to Whitney that night.
Okay.
But you were standing, if I'm remembering correctly, you were standing next to Whitney, and I had no idea who you were at that point.
Yes.
And Rich introduced me to Whitney. He was like, hey, she's another podcaster, yada, yada, yada. She's here with some of these women. But he didn't mention, not to his fault, he didn't mention you. But then looking back on it, and after I saw you on Facebook, I was like, I was standing right next to that woman and I had no idea.
That's it.
So that's funny.
Right. I remember that night because Whitney, myself, Julie, a couple other women had gone to the show. And I remember Rich picking on Whitney.
Yep.
And me.
Yep, he sure did, as he likes to do.
As he likes to do.
He likes to pick on his friends.
That's right.
But it makes for good crowd engagement.
It does.
So we love to support him for that.
And when
He's doing great.
Yeah, when we left that night, Whitney said, Rich introduced me to Logan, a podcast guy.
Look at that.
So it's a small world sometimes.
It is a small world sometimes. It's truly weird how you kind of dance around the same people and you don't know until you know.
And that's right. Until the time's right.
So, Buffy, where are you from? I mean, give me your little origin story. Before we dive into what's going on now, let's rewind. And where are you from? Parents, siblings, upbringing, kind of where do you come from?
So I was born in Lakenheath in England. My dad was Air Force. So my mom and dad were stationed over there. The name Buffy came from the TV show Family Affair.
Okay.
With Buffy and Jody.
I was wondering.
Yep. Most people ask about the vampire.
I was going to say it's either that or the vampire.
That's right. And I'm like, I was the original, right? She named herself after me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was back in the time where you didn't know if you were going to boy or girl. So my mom's like, if it's a boy, it'd be Jody. If it's a girl, it's Buffy. And lo and behold, Buffy was born. And when I was young, they moved back to the States, moved to Atlanta, and grew up in Marietta, Georgia.
Wow. Grew up right here.
Right here. Yep. Went to McEachern High School, went to Southern Tech when it was Southern Tech before it became the many other names.
Sure.
And always thought I would live somewhere else. But instead, I had a career that allowed me to travel the world globally.
Wow. This episode of Your Morning Drive is sponsored by Bees Charitable Pursuits and Resources. If you're a small business or organization with a heart for community, Bees wants to partner with you. They work alongside local businesses and nonprofits to support meaningful causes through fundraising, marketing, and networking. And if you're a nonprofit looking to grow your reach or a small business that needs help connecting, promoting, and making a bigger impact, Bees Charitable Pursuits and Resources has the tools, relationships, and experience to help you move forward. Learn more about them and get involved at beescharitablepursuits.com.
So I did that.
You know what's crazy, Buffy? And the reason when I was reading your intro that I kind of looked at you a couple times out of like curiosity and fear is because, I send you and all my other guests that
Uh-huh.
pre-podcast questionnaire,
Yeah.
and I get the bio that you provided me, and I throw it into my good friend ChatGPT, and I ask it to summarize it, condense it a little bit, and I really don't read it because and you might be able to relate to this. I don't want to know too much about you.
Right.
Because I want to ask you authentically when we're actually talking. So I don't want to study up on you. So like every once in a while, there was one time that chat took somebody's bio and accidentally merged it with a previous guest's bio.
Oh, no.
And I said something during the intro and they're like, thanks, Logan. I'm happy to be here. But I didn't do that. And I was like, oh. And so like ever since then, like every once in a while, I'm like, is this correct? But
let me whisper this.
yeah, for real. So tell me more. I mean, did you go to college?
Did.
Southern Poly. See, this is where this is my brain right now.
That's okay. I'm Southern Poly, and then I got married right out of college.
Right out of college.
Right out of college, and had 2 small children.
To Matt?
No, not to Matt.
Okay.
Not to Matt.
Not to Matt.
And
shout out to Matt.
I know.
He's out there in the lobby working.
He's out there working. He's out there knitting us all these things together.
He's doing all of the important things while you and I get to have fun.
That's right. That's right. Well, he's actually working on booking our trip to Vegas, but that's okay.
When is that?
So that won't be till April. So our son turns 21 on April 25th, and we're taking him to the Sphere to see the Wizard of Oz.
Oh my
21st birthday.
For his 21st birthday, not only going to Las Vegas, but going to the Sphere to see the Wizard of Oz. What a freaking birthday.
Right. It aligns perfectly because Matt was a combat controller, and that's also the week of the combat control reunion. So we'll go out and be able to hang out with the boys.
Sure.
And then take Connor out to the Sphere.
Of course.
And then I've warned Connor with hanging with the combat controllers and them knowing your 21st birthday.
It's going to be a problem.
It's going to be an interesting evening for you.
Prepare your liver, sir.
That's right.
Prepare your liver and your wallet. Hopefully, though, because it's your birthday, people will buy you these extracurriculars.
That's right.
But then also protect your wallet from a gambling perspective as well.
Oh
I go to Vegas every year for a guys trip here, actually, in a couple of weeks for me and my dad and brother and cousins and uncles. We all go out and bet on the horses for the Breeders' Cup, which is something that I had never heard of until my dad was like, you're old enough, so you're officially invited. I was like,
this is really cool.
I made it.
Once you understand it, it's really cool.
I really don't understand it. I've gone for like 4 or 5 years. I think this will be my 4th year. And it's really just a lot of stats and numbers and all day betting, but it's also all day betting, but all day drinking and bonding and fellowship and
memories.
And God, I'm a memory fiend. I love a good memory.
I am too.
So love Las Vegas. Love Las Vegas.
Yeah. It will be his first trip to Vegas.
I'm glad it's his first trip because I went to Las Vegas one year because my grandparents used to live out there. Oh. So I went one year when I was 20 and it was the greatest tease of all time.
Go back.
It was like, oh, you can watch us have fun from afar because you're not allowed to step onto the carpet.
That's right.
And it was like, God, what are they going to do? Kick me out? Yes, they will. They will kick you out.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Escort you right out those doors.
Unless your child is clearly like an infant or a toddler where it's like, they're not touching anything. They're not pressing any buttons. They're just watching mom and dad have
they're
fun.
Just watching the lights.
Right, exactly. Then like, okay, fine. But like if you're like questionable, like
20-year-old.
Right. Sir, step off. And that's what happened to me.
That's right.
I was like, I'm going to test it. I'll see what happens. And they were like, you need to step off or you're getting out of here.
That's right.
I was like, all right, I'll go hang out in the food court.
That's right.
Which, if you've never been to Las Vegas, every casino has a movie theater, a food court, and a grocery store, a bowling alley, a pool, everything. It's smart business, though, I guess.
It's amazing.
It's weird. Maybe we're in the wrong business. Well, you're probably doing the right thing. I mean, compared to me, I need to be in the, but you're doing good stuff. Yeah. And I can't wait to ask you all about those things.
Of course.
So after you get out of school, I mean, what did you go to school for?
So I originally went to school for computer science.
Okay.
And after my second programming class, I was like, this is not what I'm going to do.
Yep.
And so I switched to business administration because I was also working for McDonald's. And they had agreed, or they had offered that if I worked for them part-time while I was in college, they would pay my tuition. So I said, yes.
Absolutely.
Right. So I was the night manager. And when I finished college, they said, look, while you're figuring out what your career is going to be, why don't you be an assistant manager for us? I'm
Okay.
like, okay, sure. I mean, I already knew the business.
Sure.
And the assistant manager led into store manager, which led into area supervisor, which led into ownership. Right. So it just
Wow.
kind of evolved.
So you had a whole career at McDonald's.
I did. I spent 10 years with McDonald's, and then life changed. And I was like, okay, the long hours of not seeing my children caused me to make a shift.
Sure. And
So-
before I ask you what was next,
Mhm.
do you just love McDonald's or do you absolutely despise it?
No, I still love McDonald's, but I'll tell you, I am glad I worked in McDonald's in the time where we made everything. We went in at 4 a.m. and we made the biscuits every morning. We made the pan or the hot cake mix. McDonald's will say it's not pancakes, it's hot cakes. But we made everything fresh every morning and cooked, right? I'll tell you, I learned a lot about how to cook at McDonald's and how to plan for large groups. And it still amazes my husband today. We can have 100 people at the house and I can figure out quickly how much food we need and everything. But it
That's
taught me
a
a lot.
great skill to have.
It is. Yep. I went to Hamburger University. I did all the McDonald's leadership and management classes.
Is that what they call it? Hamburger University?
Yeah, that's up in, it used to be in Oak Brook, Illinois.
Okay.
They've moved the campus now, but
Very fun.
yeah, it's very
I love
interesting.
it. As soon as you said McDonald's, my stomach growled.
Double cheeseburger,
Oh.
still my favorite.
Quarter pounder sometimes, maybe a side, a couple nuggies for the
Oh my
road.
goodness.
But I've just decided what is going to be the dinner
Now-
after
now you've
this
got this
very
figured out.
podcast. Thank you, McDonald's. If you want to sponsor this podcast, McDonald's, that would be
You would love a box of nuggies right there and a double
God.
cheeseburger.
Oh. And then after every episode, I would eat it, and then I would eventually die of heartburn.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, but you got to think about it. I worked there for 10 years, probably ate McDonald's 2 times a day, 5 days a week for 10 years. Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds great.
Oh, no.
I mean,
I see a career change coming.
I see a shift coming, or I'm going to be in the hospital.
Right.
The Supersized documentary was almost made about me, but I quit right before. Okay, so after McDonald's, I mean,
Yeah.
so you're going through assistant manager, area management, ownership even. I mean, yeah, you pivoted, but was it hard to pivot? Were you thinking like I could really climb the ranks here at McDonald's and work for this massive global company? Or were you always thinking of McDonald's as just your first kind of, you know what I'm saying?
I will tell you, when I was in it, I thought I was going to be in it because it was a franchisee. It wasn't the big corporation. So I was working for a franchisee and really thought that at some point their bigger franchise would just be taken over. But when it came time to go, it was time to go. And I was hired by the bank for Circuit City, and they brought me in to be part of the customer service department because since I worked for McDonald's, surely I was good at customer service. That was an interesting transition, going from face to face with people to on the phone with people all the time.
Circuit City, that's a name I
That's
haven't
a
heard in a long
name
time.
you haven't heard in a long time.
That a lot of people think that I have never heard before. That and Radio Shack, people give
Oh
me.
no, Radio
like-
Shack is still the
They're like, oh, you're a young and you've never heard of Radio Shack. I'm like, I remember them all when I was a kid. I remember Radio Shack
Oh yeah,
and Circuit City.
and Circuit City. Oh yeah. Yep. So I spent 10 years with Circuit City.
10 years with McDonald's, 10 years with Circuit City.
That's right.
What then?
So Circuit City, the bank for Circuit City, you may know this. Circuit City actually developed CarMax. It spun off CarMax. CarMax used to be under the same subsidiary as Circuit City.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yep. So spun off CarMax, and CarMax became their own entity, and they had CarMax Auto Finance, their own finance company. And this was around the time that Best Buy was coming out, right? Another big item store.
Conglomerate, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Best Buy.
Yeah. And so Circuit City at the time made the decision to pull all the big merchandise out of the stores. No more refrigerators and washer and dryers. They were going electronic, fully electronic, big TVs, computers, things of that nature. And the market wasn't doing well for Circuit City. As a matter of fact, at one point, company came to Circuit City, came to the leadership at Circuit City and said, hey, we're this company and we would like to see if you'd like to buy us. And the leadership at Circuit City said, no, we're not interested in buying. We're doing our own thing. That company was Best Buy. So as things fell apart with Circuit City, right? The bank was sold off and we became Bank One. And 3 months later, we became JP Morgan Chase. So talk about job change,
So
title
funny how change.
Yep. And about a year later is when the market tanked. Circuit City closed and JP Morgan Chase decided to close the bank location here in Kennesaw, Georgia.
Was this 2008?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And so at that time, I was offered to go to the Philippines. And I said, no, thank you. Not with kids. I did not want to move them to the Philippines. And so I went to work for Equifax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Equifax. What did you do for them?
So I was their senior director of global credentialing and investigations.
Wow. What a job.
So it was fun. We got to put lots of bad people in jail.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Very fulfilling.
Oh, it was. It was. Built out a team in Costa Rica. I would spend probably a week a month in Costa Rica working with my analyst, and then I'd be back in stateside working with my investigators. Traveled the world, worked a lot with law enforcement, different programs within the government, different agencies. It was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Busting baddies at Equifax.
That's it.
That's really cool. I mean, I've always been so interested in like the fraud world. I mean, I also worked at a financial institution a couple years ago, a local one. And I was always so interested in whenever we'd get an email from the fraud department, they'd be like, watch out for this guy.
That's right.
And
Okay, I'm watching.
wow. And you're like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And I always had so many questions whenever I saw them or at company functions. I'd be like, yo, like, tell me about like you guys like looking at people and like investigating them and all that goes into that.
Oh, yeah.
Super cool stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's some that throughout my career of investigations that are just the stories that you just remember that stick out.
Really?
Yeah.
Just wild.
Just wild. Just things that you think, oh my gosh.
There's no way it exists.
Yes, right. But it does. But it does. And it's amazing.
Wow. Okay. So I'm kind of starting to see where this is going a little bit because you're working on, worldwide. You're working with law enforcement. You're doing all these things. Okay. So after Equifax, how long were you with them?
I was with them for 7.5 years.
Okay. So again, another almost 10-year stretch with an organization. You're a loyal lady there, Buffy.
I know, which is, I guess in today's age, it's a little different.
It is, but you're kind of a blend of like then and now. Yeah. Whereas like you got to a company, it's not like you dipped after 2 years.
Right.
You were there for 10 years, 7 years, whatever. So you're spending 10 years with an organization. You're like, all right, I'm going to take everything I learned in this 10 years and apply it to this. And then I'm going to apply it to that. And I'm going to apply that to that.
That's right.
So then after Equifax,
what did I do?
What did you do?
I was recruited to come and run global security for an organization named Novellus.
Novellus.
And they're headquartered in Atlanta.
Okay.
And they did not have a security program. And they travel the world globally. They're the world's largest aluminum manufacturer and recycler. And so I went to join them, built out a global security crisis management program for them. And at 9 years, I left. So that's it. I'm done in the corporate space. It's time.
That was it.
To take all that I've learned and go and make an impact in the world, change lives, make an impact, as opposed to working for the larger companies. Right. And so that's where Outer Circle Foundation, that's where Few Atlanta came along. And that's where Chicken Dude stuff started becoming a dream. And, that's kind of been what we've been up to.
Wow.
Although the irony of all of that is we consult from time to time, both Matt and I will consult from time to time with organizations that I've heard of us. And they'll say, hey, come help us with this in security or this with an investigation. And so I've been consulting with an organization called Life Night, and they are an AI company. And I've been consulting with Avery, who's their founder and CEO, for about a year now. And we announced officially on LinkedIn today that I am their CSO. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
How do you feel about that?
Well, it's interesting because it's not where I ever thought I would go back to.
Sure.
But Avery has got such a unique business, and she's such a passionate, prophetic woman of integrity and really wanting to make an impact and good in the world, that what she's developed with Life Night is incredible. And so it's exciting to be a part of this mission.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
So, where along in this journey with leaving Equifax and then starting, I'm sorry, I've gone through so many things. And also, I apologize for how freaking hot it is in here.
It is a bit warm in here.
It's hot as hell in here, Buffy. I'm like sweating and I'm like sitting here wondering, like, is it just me?
I know. You notice I haven't picked my coffee up yet.
Yeah, I know, right? Goodness, I'm sorry about that. That's why I peeked my head out there to look at the thermostat. I'm like, what the hell is it set on? So
7 million.
We're sitting here suffering together.
We are.
I did change it for the record, but it is still hot as balls in here. So with all that out there, after Novellas, thank you.
You're welcome.
Was the plan while you were at Novellas, like, okay, I'm gonna break free and start this foundation and do a podcast, or like did these things just kind of fall into place as the story went on?
Yeah. So back in 2017, right, Matt and I started talking about having a consulting firm. And so we started an organization called Inner Circle.
Inner Circle.
Right.
Okay.
As opposed to Outer Circle. And because Inner Circle are the people that are closest to us. And when you're in our inner circle, we'll do anything to help you.
I love that.
And so we started that. And a lot of what I did in Inner Circle were worked with women that I knew or could identify that were in an abusive relationship, and help them get away from those relationships.
Sure.
Help them find another job, get protective orders, whatever it is they needed to help them get away. And in 2020, when our lovely COVID timeframe began,
Lovely.
Matt was the head of security for Epic Games.
Epic Games?
Epic Games.
Our friends behind the lovely video game of Fortnite.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
Absolutely.
Very cool.
Absolutely. And his parents live in Georgia and his job was in North Carolina.
Okay.
And so Epic Games, even though everybody was working remotely, insisted that he be back in North Carolina to keep his job. And so he said, look, my dad's in ICU, and he'd already talked to all the appropriate people he thought that he could do this. And they said, nope, you need to be back. So he resigned that position and started running our consulting firm as a full-time thing for him, which was fine. It's COVID. What else were we going to do? So he would do that. And I worked for Novellas. And as the business grew and things started shifting, we got involved in the Afghan mission to help evacuate our U.S. allies out of Afghanistan when the government fell. And so we set up Outer Circle Foundation at that point. And partnered with other nonprofits to start moving our allies out of Afghanistan. Did that for about 3 years, moved thousands of people to safety, moved the former command sergeant major of the elite Afghan special forces to the U.S. Took us 2.5 years to get him here. Took us another 6 months to get his wife and 3 little girls here. But they are still here. They're in Georgia, and he's now gainfully employed with Riverside Military Academy in Gainesville, and his wife has a job, and his girls are learning English, and it's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing.
And then we shifted all of our focus to our military and first responders.
Wow. So, I have so many questions about everything you just said. But before that, Buffy, I want to actually tell you and the people listening about one of our friends of the podcast. Can I tell you about them? I wish I had them with me right now, but our show is brought to you by our friends at Good Days Classic Canned Cocktails. Good Days are a classic cocktail brand created in a convenient, ready-to-drink format to meet the need for a quality, pre-mixed cocktail on any occasion. You can try their cocktails out by going to their website, Drink Good Days, and you can find out where they are sold near you. And they're a great company. They're a local Marietta cocktail company. They've been working with Your Morning Drive for almost 2 years now. So we love them. We love their cocktails. I wish I was sipping on one right now because I am starved, ladies and gentlemen. But if Good Days were here, it would go from a starving day to a good day. They've got great flavors. They've got all the classic cocktails. They've got 4 amazing flavors. They've got a whiskey sour, they've got a vodka cranberry, they've got a gin and juice, they've got all the classics, and they're so good and they taste great and they use natural ingredients and they're just a great all around cool drink, summer drink. But then of course, while it's getting a little colder out, a lot of people break out that whiskey sour because it's called the heater. So it kind of heat warms things up. And yeah, just a great company. Of course, you have to be 21 years of age to consume and purchase. Shout out to Buffy's son, because soon he can purchase Good Days. And yeah, support them. Tell them we sent you. And thank you, Good Days, for partnering with Your Morning Drive.
Beautiful.
Buffy, okay. So, man. So my initial question is, so you guys start this foundation, you start this consulting company. How do you get from starting Outer Circle to jumping in with aiding this mission in Afghanistan? I mean, what gets you from we've started our foundation to we're helping this global problem thing? Like, how do you get there? What led you there?
So my husband was a combat controller in the U.S. Air Force.
Yes.
Right. And so after he left that, he was in law enforcement, retired as chief of police, and he has always stayed connected within the combat control community.
Okay.
And guys within that group have other nonprofits. And so when the government fell, they all started coming together and saying, hey, you have a nonprofit, you have a nonprofit, you have a nonprofit. It's going to take all of us and all of those skills that we once had and used to partner up and start helping get our U.S. allies out, because the government is left them behind and they do not deserve to be left behind. So we move folks to safety, whether it was just moving them to another friendly country or bringing them into the U.S., depending on the situation, if we could get their appropriate documents and everything.
Sure.
So it was fun. There was many nights of being up all night, working all day and working all night because of the time changes, the shifts of hours, the time where we could talk to folks.
Sure.
So we did that for a long time.
Wow. So this is going to sound so stupid.
There's no stupid questions.
Thank you, Buffy. Thank you for that validation. I needed that because this feels like a dumb question. But were you guys paid to do that? Okay.
No. So we did all of that through our nonprofit. And so the irony of it, when we said yes, right, we had people start sending us envelopes with checks in it saying help people. Tarjaman is another nonprofit, and it's run by a guy named Gonzo Lastly, and he's amazing. So he got a 60-second airtime on the news to talk about Tarjaman and Outer Circle. And he's like, we need financial support to be able to do this, right? Because it costs to get passport, it costs to book flights, it costs to do the things we do. And so every day we'd go to the mailbox and there would be a check from somebody saying, please help, here's some money, please help, here's some money. And so all of that just came into our nonprofit, and all the nonprofits, we worked together to make this happen.
What did you learn about, if anything, about yourselves going through that process and aiding in such a huge movement and such an important thing?
Yeah, it was, first of all, it was very eye-opening and very sad that we could make the decision to leave all of these people behind and leave them in such a bad situation, right? And as we would start talking, as we'd get a spreadsheet with a list of people, and they would be assigned to us. We'd start reaching out and connecting and to talk to these folks. We had a woman that was pregnant, and she'd never seen a doctor the whole time she was pregnant. And we were having to figure out how to get her to safety, get her across a border to safety to get her medical care and be seen by a doctor and everything. And it was so dangerous there for these folks that were left behind. The Taliban was coming in. They were coming in close. We had several folks beat up during this time because
Wrong place, wrong time.
wrong place, wrong time. It was a learning on both sides to not talk about what we're doing. Right. You move quietly, you move
Sure.
swiftly.
Sure.
I remember the lady, as soon as we got her across the border and got her to safety,
Sure.
she delivered. She delivered. Like, I think the stress and
Sure.
everything. But she and the baby are fine. They get medical care, doing well. The families that we brought into the US, we've got a family in Virginia, and they are just doing wonderful. We get Christmas cards from him and his wife, and their kids are doing well. And then, of course, Nassar is here in Georgia, and we see him pretty regularly.
That's got to be so moving
It's
to know
something.
that they were once not even in that situation, but they were in Afghanistan, which
Mhm.
I've never been, but I assume it's not as nice as it is here.
Correct. It's
So you take people from that environment, and then with the rise in the Taliban and the dangerous situation that it got to be over there,
not.
you're helping people find a safe haven. That's got to be so. I mean, I'm tearing up thinking about it. It's
Yeah.
just so powerful.
Yeah. You really, we need to make an opportunity for you to meet Nassar. He will absolutely blow your mind. He's a UFC world champion fighter. I mean, he's trained. He's been fighting the Taliban since he was 8 years old, and the stories he can tell you and how he's trained U.S. troops and things of that nature. His story's absolutely incredible.
Have to find this. I have to meet him somehow.
Okay.
That would blow my mind. Wow, it's so powerful, Buffy. I mean, it just kind of like, even just this, not even asking more about what you and Outer Circle and Few and all the things do. It's just so powerful. I don't know. It makes you like zoom out and think like, man, like, what am I doing to help with X, Y, and Z cause? And it's just like, I leave conversations like these and I'm just like, I gotta do something. I don't know what, but I gotta do something.
But you're doing something, right? Because your podcast lets folks share the message, and sharing the message opens doors for other people to go, how can I help? And it circulates and it circulates, and it's pretty incredible.
Sure. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So you guys are involved with that ordeal,
Mhm.
and you said you did that for 3-ish years.
Yep. And then we turn back to our local, right? Veterans, first responders. Our primary focuses are PTSD awareness,
Sure.
resources and treatment, suicide prevention programs, and career transition. And so that's really where our focus has been the past 4 years, 3 years.
So Buffy and Matt are doing this. Do you guys have a team as well, or is it just the two of you?
The past 4 years, we've had a board of 3,
Okay.
right? And then Matt and I, and then Whitney, who you know, she does a lot of our social media,
Sure.
and she volunteers with us immensely. And then we have
She was just with you this past weekend.
That's right.
I saw her post on Instagram,
That's right.
Taste of Ackworth, right?
Taste of Ackworth. Yep. We had our golf outing last week on Thursday, which if
Yeah.
I'd known you had golf towels, I would have said, hey, let's get a golf towel
Okay.
on every golfer's
Future
hands.
opportunity.
And then Julie, who's our extraordinary assistant who helps with Few, she helps with Outer Circle, she helps with Inner Circle. She's just phenomenal. But 26, we're bringing on a board of 10 people.
Wow.
We've already interviewed and have them working in an interim role for our board, and they're all phenomenal.
Love that for you guys.
Yeah, because we really see the mission of and the scope of what we're doing growing, the impact growing. And so it's time to bring on a really large board. And so it's really fun working with these 10 folks.
Yeah.
Because they all come very different backgrounds, right? One's a MSNBC security consultant. One runs his own company. We've got someone counsel with Home Depot. So everybody's got a very different background, and you put them all together and it's amazing. It's fun.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
God.
And that's just Outer Circle.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, okay. What else do you do? Stupid question. But
so in addition to Outer Circle, we have Few.
Few,
right?
yes.
Fellowship
Tell me
of
about
Extraordinary Women.
Whitney's talked a lot about Few.
Oh, yeah. Few has been phenomenal. I actually met Kimberly Joy, who is the founder of Few in Wisconsin.
Okay.
I think it's been 3.5 years ago.
Okay.
And so a mutual friend, she was in Atlanta, and she started telling me about Few. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. That sounds like something that I would enjoy here in Atlanta, working with women. I'd already been working with women through Inner Circle. I worked with the veterans through Outer Circle. So I flew to Wisconsin and attended one of Kimberly's few events and was blown away. Absolutely blown away. Camaraderie amongst the women. Because I don't know if you know, women sometimes can be backbitey and
A little bit.
snickery and
Sometimes.
gossipy and rumors and
For sure.
yeah. And so, but it wasn't that. And she had 150 women in the room, and it was just a beautiful event all day. So I said to her as I was leaving, "This is pretty phenomenal. I would love to do something like this in Atlanta." And she's like, "Oh yeah." And it didn't, I don't think it resonated with her. And about a week later, she called me and she goes, when you said it, I didn't think about it. She started Few in Wisconsin 15 years ago. And she'd always just had this little group of women in Wisconsin where she supports them, educates them, prays with them, just kind of helps them. She publishes books for them, all of this stuff. It's really to help women figure out what is their kingdom assignment, what their purpose is in life, and help them fulfill that purpose. And so after that conversation, she's like, well, I've never really thought about putting another Few anywhere else, but if you would like to do it in Atlanta, I think you're the perfect person to do it. And so we said yes and jumped in. And
Wow. So is that like I don't want to say a franchise, but like, how do you guys,
it's
because
like a
I assume it's
it's like a
a
chapter.
chapter.
A
There you
chapter.
go. Because I was going to say, I'm sure it's a nonprofit kind of situation.
It's
Or
actually
is
not.
it?
It's actually not. It's a membership organization.
Okay.
Right. And that helps fuel and fund the ongoing of
The ongoing operation of the operation.
Yeah, because we have 3 meetings a month, and then there's education courses, and we have an app, and then there's virtual trainings. And I mean, there's always something going on. Every quarter we do a social event. Every quarter we work with a nonprofit somewhere the women enjoy to work with or decide they want to work with. So we're always doing something, but it's bringing women together in a safe and sacred community where we can talk about life. We can talk about our husbands. We can talk about our kids. We can talk about our dreams, our goals, and we work together to help women fulfill whatever it is they need. I think Few has been game changer for a lot of women in the community. So many of the women come in, and after the first meeting, they're like, I've needed this for so long and I didn't know how to find it. And it's been a blessing.
Can anyone join Few?
Any woman. Now, we get picked on by the men that say, well, what if I want to come? And I'm like, well, we do trainings and stuff where we open it up to the
Sure.
men, but the monthly meetings are for women. And Matt, my husband, will always do baked goods for every meeting. He gets in the kitchen and he creates desserts or little munchy things for the women, and they enjoy that.
That's the man's contribution
That-
to the Few meetups is
That's it.
the man slaves away in the kitchen creating yummy treats
Yummy
for
treats.
everybody.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, if nothing else, it's just a great place for a bunch of women to get together and learn from each other and grow with each other and pray with each other. Like you said, it's just it's just a cool networking, but also just kind of like friendship. And it's just a cool blend of those things because, yeah, you're doing networking like things with trainings and meetups and such, but you're also probably all so close.
Yes.
I mean, and when you welcome new members, it's like you're joining a family, and it's just because you're all there for the same reason. It's got to be just so much fun.
It is. We just did a dinner out last week and all met at Henry's in Ackworth for dinner. And
I bet you guys tore that place up.
We just had the best time. Absolutely did. Whitney had just gotten married.
Yes.
And then one of the other women at the table had her birthday. And so the restaurant just had so much fun with the table of all the women. And
what a surprise with Whitney.
I know.
I mean, I don't want to say I'm not close with her. I'm pretty close with her at this point, but we hopped on a Zoom call maybe 2-3 weeks ago at this point, and she was just like, I've got something to tell you. And I was like,
what?
And then she like held up her finger and I was like,
I know.
And then like a week later, she was like, yeah, so we got married last weekend. And I was like, huh? She was like, yeah, we did. We just did it. When you know, you know. And I was like, Freaking heck yeah,
Beautiful.
man.
I know. We were at the wedding. It was amazing.
Was it?
Yeah, we were supposed to fly out that morning to New Orleans, and her
Yeah.
called and said, "Hey, we're going to get married," and so we moved our flight so we could go to the
Love
wedding,
that.
and then we flew.
I can't wait to meet this guy.
Oh, he's phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm super excited.
yeah, he's awesome. He has so much energy and just a hoot.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Scott, shouts to Scott if he hears this.
That's right. So now we call Whitney Wonder Woman
Wonder Woman.
because it's Whitney Wallace,
Yes.
WW.
True.
So now we call her Wonder Woman.
Very cool. Love that. Wonder Woman. I love that. Definitely gonna text her after this to just be like, what up, Wonder Woman? And she'll be like, yeah, you just talked about
You just got through with Buffy.
Wow. Okay. So what kind of, so you've mentioned like programs for like PTSD awareness and all of these things that are catered to veterans and like, I said it in the intro, career transitions and how do you, because, you always hear when you talk to people that are doing the nonprofit thing and they're like, oh yeah, well, we offer this, we do that. What are you actually doing in these courses, in these workshops, however, you know what I'm trying to say? I can't spit it out.
You can't say it, but I read you.
But you feel me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Outer Circle, we really focus on our veterans, first responders, those three entities, right? The one thing we will both tell folks is they come to us and they say, oh, I'm a homeless veteran and I have PTSD. Well, we will work very closely with you on PTSD, right? But the homelessness, we have partnerships with other nonprofits. We do not try to be the nonprofit that does everything.
Yeah.
We know where we're good.
Right.
And that's where we focus. But we build all this network of other folks around us so we can say, all right, so Logan, you need this, this, and this. This is where we're going to help you. And we're going to connect you personally to the founder of this organization and this and this and this. So that we're not, one, pushing you away and saying good luck to you, but two, we're not trying to fix the things where we don't have the experience, right? I mean, our experience is very specific. Even with PTSD, if someone comes to us and says, look, I have PTSD, there is a plethora of things that can be done, right? Providing you a service animal may be the best thing ever. You could be deathly allergic to animals, and us giving you a service animal is not really going to help you.
Probably not.
Probably not. You may resonate well with music therapy, or you may need some other type of program. So we do an individual evaluation with our individual and say, what's going to work for you? And we kind of work through that evaluation. Depending on what that is, we have connections with those organizations where we already know them. We've already worked with them. They know us. So we can say, Logan needs a service animal, and we're going to send you to this organization or introduce you here, and they're going to provide that service animal. It could be music therapy. It could be painting. It could be you need to go on a journey, right, where you're going to be gone for some amount of time, and we use alternative medicines there. It could be a trauma recovery program, which Matt and several of us in the organization are certified to teach a trauma reboot class. And it's a 12-week, biblically based, peer-led program that does phenomenal work on trauma recovery for veterans, first responders, and then we have one that's for general public as well.
Wow. I love all of this. This is so cool. You guys are doing such great work. And I love that you're catered to the first responders and the veterans, because I feel like our veterans go through enough when even if they never see combat,
right,
they go through enough that I'm honestly, frankly, tired of seeing stories of how veterans are just mistreated when they get back home. And I think that's such a crime.
It is.
It's such a cancer
to
the people that are laying their lives down to try to fight for us and protect us. And it just makes me mad when I hear stories about how I can't get a job because I broke my knee overseas and nobody wants to hire a guy that can't walk.
That's
and it's like, that is such shit mentality. It is. Honestly.
It really is. It's really sad. I mean, Matt's a 10-year veteran, and then he was law enforcement for 18 years. So he's worn both uniforms, right? And so our experience with coming out of both of those organizations has been challenging, right? Even getting him medical care and even him with having PTSD and getting that diagnosis and working through treatment has just been horrible. The immediate response was, here's a pill, take this. And then he was non functional, right? Nobody initially wanted to get to the root of, oh, this is PTSD, and these are some treatment options that help you deal with it, as opposed to here's a bunch of pills and you're just going to sit in that chair all day, which was the initial response to his PTSD. So the thing that we've learned with Outer Circle is not only do we look at everything other than the medicine, we also very quickly realize that the spouse also needs help, right? Because even after we got him into treatment and started having those changes with him and how he dealt with PTSD, I had to adjust to that change because I remembered Matt with PTSD and how he responded. But as he'd been trained to respond differently, I was expecting one thing, but got something different, right? And so we've identified as we get into homes with veterans or first responders and we're helping the individual that we have to get a hold of that spouse and the children to get them into some type of program that says, mom or dad is going to be different now because of this. And so this is the way you need to change as well. And so it's been just this evolution, but it's missing in the industry. It's missing significantly in the industry. Handing somebody a pill and telling them, just take this is not the way to go.
No, it's not. And I just wish that like just everyday citizens in everyday life, just going about your business. I wish more people like, I'm not going to say this to try to put myself on a pedestal or anything, but whenever I see somebody like in uniform or I meet somebody that I find out is a veteran, I make sure I go out of my way to thank them. Maybe that's just because I understand. I mean, I don't understand, but I understand what they're doing for us.
You have a respect for them.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
missing.
because I know I'm maybe a coward is the right word for I could never do it. I could never. If there was a draft, Buffy,
You'd
I'd
be
be
hiding.
so screwed. I would hide from the draft. I will go on the record and say that because well, they probably wouldn't take me. I've got asthma. And I'm blind. So they probably wouldn't want me. But I just have so much respect for them because I just could never do it. And like even law enforcement, like I, funny enough, got pulled over a month or so ago for being on my phone while driving. It was an honest mistake. I picked it up to change songs and I could have easily not done that. But the guy pulled me over and we actually had a really good conversation. He did give me a ticket, but I didn't try to have this good conversation with him to maybe try to weasel out of the ticket or anything. But I just said, man, you guys have gone through so much the past 5 years or so. I just thank you for doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh man, I wish more people said that because, it's like you love it when your boss tells you that you're doing a good job.
Right.
Well, our boss are the people.
Right.
And to hear that just really makes my day. However, here's where you're going to sign to pay for this ticket. And I was like, got it.
Got it. I will not be picking my phone up anymore.
Yeah, right. I just wish more people would thank police officers. And I know there's bad people out there that do bad things. But there's also good people out there that make honest mistakes.
That's right.
And I don't feel like we should have to live in this world where like, oh, you made that one mistake, you're done. You can never work again. You're canceled. You're done forever, never again.
That's right.
Of course, if you do something that crosses the line, punishment should happen. But I feel like people make honest mistakes like you and me every single day. So I feel like we should just give more grace to those who are willing to put on a uniform and go into dangerous situations that I'm not willing to go into.
Right.
So yeah, sorry, I'll get off my soapbox, but I just feel like we need to do better and thank the people that are providing that service for us.
It's one of those tough jobs.
Yeah, one of my cousin, her husband's a cop, and he does a lot of like domestic disputes and stuff. And I just hear the stories of he's like, I am walking into a room where I can hear the anger in an argument, and I am immediately scared. And he's a big guy, and he's like, and I'm scared. Not for my life necessarily all the time, but scared that someone in this situation is going to get hurt.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a scary situation.
It is. I can't imagine I mean, things have changed so drastically, right? Our law enforcement, they walk into a building, walk into a room, knock on a door, even walking up to a car to give somebody a ticket because they've got their phone in their hand. He doesn't know what
He
you have
never
in your
knows.
car. That's right.
And I've seen so many videos of basically like cops, like on TikTok, like the old show Cops. I've seen enough things where like the officer runs up and people are like quick to argue or they put their hands in weird places. And I'm just like, hands are on the steering wheel.
That's right.
Like, or they're in clear view,
That's right.
or, you know, I talk with my hands a lot. So I make sure that the officer knows when I'm talking. Like,
this is how I talk.
this is where my hands are. I'm not doing anything. Like, it just feels like there should be some common just decency when it comes to this stuff, or an etiquette per se, but it's just not taught.
It's not.
And it's a problem.
Yeah. It's not taught. It's kind of like our kids in school are not taught how to balance a checkbook. They're not taught how to address a mail envelope, right? The things that we know, our kids are not taught in school.
And I feel like it's almost, I was talking to this guy the other day, and this guy kind of teeters on like the conspiracy theorist kind of person for sure. And he was saying, he's like, man, sometimes it feels like they don't teach us this stuff in school for a reason, because they want certain people to not make it, and they need those people to exist so that the people who do make it. And I was like, whoa,
Well, that's really
crazy.
Deep.
That's deep.
That is.
And I was like, you need to chill on that, buddy. But it's why don't we learn how to, I don't know how to change a tire.
I do.
Thank you. I'm glad you do.
Yeah.
I wish I did.
Yeah. That was a requirement of my dad before I got my first car, is change your oil, change your tire.
I love that. And even when I got my first bank account when I was 16, my dad was like, you have a debit card, but I know you don't use checks, but you're going to write every transaction you do.
Good for him.
In this checkbook.
Good for him.
And you're going to know how to balance your bank account. And sure, you can use your receipts and your online banking to help you, but you're going to use this until I know that you can do it.
Good.
And I did. And when I worked at the financial institution, I told kids all the time, or I told parents all the time, like, listen, I know it sounds silly, but get them one of these. This will show them that they have to account for every cent that goes in and out of their bank account. I was like, my parents did it for me.
That's right.
And it worked wonders. At the time, I thought it was dumb. It's like, Dad, I could just look it up all online.
That's right.
But it doesn't teach you how to track your income and your spending.
That's right.
So,
and where you're spending money.
Right. Where is that money going?
McDonald's.
I'll tell you where. Buffy. Don't tempt me with a. Well, you know where a lot of my money goes, Buffy, is I'm going to tell you about another friend of the
Here we go.
And that's where a lot of the listener, money should go too. If you are a business owner, an entrepreneur like myself, like Buffy, like Matt, like Whitney, if you are looking to level up your company's swag game, I know a guy. Your brand deserves better than boring swag. We've all been to golf tournaments. We've all opened up the goodie bag and seen cheap merchandise that doesn't feel like there was any passion put behind it. But then we've also gone to golf tournaments or networking events, and we've received merch that feels good when you're holding it. And you're like, maybe I'm not going to throw that pen away or that bookmark or whatever it is. Your brand deserves better. Branded and Devoted Designs. They are a local company. They're based in Cartersville. They do everything. They can put your logo on anything. They have made all of the merch for Hammerhead Creations and Your Morning Drive over the years. They're great folks. They sponsor this very podcast, obviously, and they do great work for people. They can put your logo on a hat, a sweater, a shirt, a notebook, a binder, a coffee cup. They made that coffee cup that I gave Buffy earlier. They just do it. And if you tell them that I sent you, they'll give you 10% off your order. So if you're in the market, if you know the holidays are coming, if you're trying to do a refresh on your swag, if you're trying to get a new order of t-shirts, of hats, of whatever, if you want to gift your employees Yeti cups with your logo engraved on them, whatever the case may be, go ahead and contact Branded and Devoted Designs. Go to their websites, brandedanddevoted.designs.com. Let them know I sent you. They'll give you that 10% off benefit. So level up that company swag, get out there, crush the day every day. That's what Dave always says. Dave is the founder of Branded and Devoted Designs. So go support them. Tell them Logan sent them, and they'll hook you up. Yeah, important to have good swag.
Yeah.
I mean, you as someone who just had a golf outing,
Yes,
you know all about that.
We did.
So when you guys have these events and you have these golf outings, well, actually, before I ask that, I wanted to ask before I forget. So I know you're doing a lot of stuff with Few. You're doing a lot of stuff with Outer Circle. Is Inner Circle still operating and running? Like what is Inner Circle getting into nowadays?
So Inner Circle, we are really a niche consulting firm, right? And so when I talked a little bit about Life Night, right, the AI company,
Sure.
we are a word of mouth consulting firm. So Avery met Matt at an event at Liberty University, and she talked to him about the AI platform and being a woman. And he's like, I think you really need to connect with my wife. She and I spent an hour on the phone call, and she's like, how can I get you involved in my company? Because I want to take this AI platform that I've developed and use it for security, use it for safety, use it for all the things you've talked about. And so I said, yes, let me help you, and jumped into that about a year ago. Been working with her, and things are just going amazing. We just got our second US patent that is phenomenal. We've got 2 more on the horizon that are game changers for what we're doing. And Inner Circle, another organization, came to us and said, hey, we would like you guys to consult, help us with our company. It is it's balcony.io, and they are doing intel through a platform that's real time, that is different than anything else out there. And so Matt is working with that CEO. And so it's word of mouth. People say, hey, I wrote somebody I can trust and somebody that's really good. I'm not looking, for crazy. And so we work with them. So we've had companies come to us and say, hey, we would like you to consult and help us. And we look at those companies and their values and say, no, that doesn't align with who we are. And we're not about the 24/7, you're not going to work us 100 hours a day, that type of thing. There is definitely a value of the value of integrity, but family and those types of things that we really aspire to. I mean, our kids we've got 2 in college and 1 is in his junior year of high school, so they're almost gone. So we still very much value our family time over work.
Sure.
And then work second. But anybody's like, no, you're going to have to miss that. And I'm like, probably not. So, but Avery with Life Night's phenomenal, and David with Balcony. But those are the 2 organizations. We've had a couple other organizations over the years. We've got 2 other organizations right now that we're getting ready to step into pretty heavily. One is Graviton. It's a logistics platform. And then the other is a organization called CyberGhost. So those are coming up very quick that we'll be helping consult. But, it's fun.
Very cool. Very cool. So you're not really advertising this per se. You're just word of mouth, like you said.
That's right. Word of mouth.
Very cool. That's the best marketing there is.
I like it, because then people come to us and say, hey, so we've heard. I'm like, yep, that's exactly what we want.
As long as it's good, that's correct. If it's bad, that's not true.
That's right. That's right. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, that's fake news.
That's right. That's right. Just have to go away.
Yeah. Right.
But it's fun, right?
Yeah.
We're both at a point where we can kind of pick and choose where we want to work and what we want to do. Our passion is our nonprofit and Few, and then certainly spending time with our kids. Although college has kind of scattered them about a little bit, Matt and I aspire to travel a lot more. And so we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
So along with all of these things, I mentioned also you guys do Chick-In Dude podcast.
We do.
How did that start? What do you guys do on it? And tell me all about that pod.
Yeah. So when Matt and I, Matt and I have known each other a long time in the security industry. That's how we met. And he would call me and say, hey, Chick, what's up? And I'm like, nothing, dude. Or, dude, I'm in the middle of something. Can I call you later? And that name stuck with he and I. Our close friends in our family know me as Chick and him as Dude. So it's Chick and Dude. And so when we moved into the house we live in now in Dallas, our assistant bought us this massive hand-carved wooden sign that says Chick and do, and it hangs over our pantry.
Love that.
Because everybody, that's what they know us as. And so as Outer Circle's coming along, as we're doing stuff with Inner Circle, as Few comes along, we've been on other podcasts, much like we're sitting here with you today, but we've been on other podcasts. And Matt said to me one day, you know what? We should have our own podcast. But I'm like, yeah, that would be fun because I said, but let's just talk about life. Let's just talk about anything the person wants to talk about. Don't really pre-script anything. And that, I think that drives some people a little nuts when they come on our podcast. We'll get a text ahead of time. Hey, what are we talking about? And I'm like, we'll find out.
It's kind of what I try to tell people.
Yes, which I love. I love that.
Just leave it open-ended.
That's right. All I need is your name and we're good and we can talk. And so it just became that. And Matt's like, what are we going to call our podcast? I'm like, well, I'm Chick, your dude. And this is all of our stuff, right? All of these companies, our kids, our family. Matt collects bourbon. He has 300 different bourbons. I collect tequilas, have a whole wall of tequila.
Wow, you guys like to have fun.
We do.
I love that.
We do. We are nonstop, if you haven't noticed. Nonstop. But it's just all of our stuff. It's life. It's stuff. And that coined the phrase chicken dude stuff.
Love that.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what, you guys invite guests on and you just chat?
We invite guests on, we chat. We have our card that has our QR code to it. You can go and book time with us and come on the podcast. Whitney's there in the background, still doing some of the magic for us there with the podcast.
Sure.
Because she's so fabulous.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, we would love to have you.
I would love to jump on.
Come on.
That'd be so. It's so fun, and you probably feel this way when you are on other people's podcasts. It's so fun being on the other side of it, where it's like I just get to show up and talk.
That's right. I get to show up, and he has to ask all the questions.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'd love to come on. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Do you guys do it at like a place like this, or do you guys do it at, virtually?
All of the above. All of the above. So at our house, we live on 30 acres. And so off of our house, we've built a separate building, and upstairs is our office and downstairs is our gym. And upstairs, we've set up a podcast space in our office.
Wow.
But sometimes we podcast from our speakeasy. We have a speakeasy in our house. It's got all of our bourbon and all our tequila and great leather chairs and all sorts of fun stuff. And so we'll podcast from there.
Wow.
And just to have the conversation, especially if we have somebody that wants to talk bourbon. I'm like, all right, let's talk. So let's pull stuff off the wall and we'll have a glass of bourbon and talk with them. So we spend time in Florida. We have a condo in Florida. So we are going to spend December in Florida. So we'll podcast from Florida.
Love that.
So we're pretty mobile, you know, when we talked about these nice big old microphones versus the cute little ones, we use the cute little ones.
Yeah. I can't wait to
easy to
see what that's like. Yeah, easy to travel with. You don't have to bring all this crap with
you. That's right.
Wow. Very, very cool. I love that. Yeah, I can't wait to jump on. That'll be a lot of fun. It's always just fun being on other people's shows because you're like, I'm so relaxed.
That's right. It gives you a different perspective too.
It does.
Right? Because if we all did it the same, it wouldn't be.
I was just going to say, it's so cool to see how one or two different people run their programs. Like when I did Whitney's podcast recently, I was like, oh, it was a quick 30 minutes and we're done. Like, oh, wow, that's different for me. Because usually mine are like an hour and a half.
Yeah, because you just talk.
Yeah, I just like to talk. And if the guest likes to talk, then I'll just sit and talk with the guest as long as they want.
That's right.
Been trying to cap it though lately.
I understand.
Just because like today I started listening to this Joe Rogan episode because he had this comedian on that I really like. And it was like 3 hours and 15 minutes. And I was like, okay, what is the actual probability I'm going to listen to this whole thing? I'm probably going to listen to about an hour and a half of it and then be like, all right, I'm done with this guy. So,
and you hope that nobody's morning drive is 3 hours long, that they're going to need yours to run. That would be horrible. Hours. Right.
Jeez, that'd be tough. But you guys are fun with the bourbon collecting and you guys are fun. Are you guys entertainers? Do you like to invite people over and party and hang?
We do.
Eat and drink and all the things?
Outing, we had a family come in from Baltimore and they came and stayed with us. And then we had somebody else come in from Virginia. And then we had we had a house full of people and we just had a good time.
I want to single-handedly secure an invite to the next house party because you guys sound like a ton of fun. Yeah, very, very cool. All great things. I'm curious. I've been staring at it this whole time. What's this little thing that you brought over here in the down there? What is this?
So Outer Circle Foundation, we are having our fall raffle. We have a AR-15 as part of this raffle.
Whoa.
Yes. We also have donated a massive snack basket, a luxury spa gift basket, and 36 custom cupcakes from Sweets and Treats by Andrea. She is phenomenal.
Really?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. To get these cupcakes.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love cupcakes.
Yeah. So we're doing raffle tickets right now. And so we're going to do our drawing live on Facebook on November 8th at 8 p.m. And so you could win an AR-15 or you could win cupcakes. I mean, it can go either way.
Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah. So we just raffled a Glock at our golf outing.
Wow.
So we had a guy win a Glock at the golf outing. And so we've got this one now. This one ends November 8th. And then right before Christmas, we're going to have a Staccato available.
Wow.
Which is a hard gun to get your hands on.
Wow.
We managed to secure one. And through our Inner Circle, we're an FFL. So we can accept the gun, do your background, make sure that you can
Own one legally.
own one legally. And if not, well, then we go to the next person, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. Very neat. Love that. How do you do it all, Buffy? How do you do it all?
It takes a team, right? It does. I mean, Matt and I work amazingly together. And then we have our community of people around us, people like Whitney, people like Julie that help. And then we have a group of volunteers that are constantly saying, hey, let me help you with this. Let me help you with that, which is great. I mean, people that we've known throughout our career just continue to stay connected and want to be a part of what we're doing.
Well, I think just based on my last hour or so with you, I've just I get the vibe that you, and even when you guys first walked in the door too, I just immediately felt like at home.
Yeah.
Very comfortable with you guys. And just even after us talking today, I just feel like you're really obviously with the stuff you do, but I feel like you guys are to your core are good people.
Well, thank you.
Not because of what you're doing, but even before that, when you were working at McDonald's or Equifax or all these other places, you've always been this good person. And now you're just in a place where you're giving back and you're doing good for other people. So it shines to everybody. But yeah, I just feel like you guys do really great stuff.
Thanks.
Very cool. I feel like I told you, I feel like I'm sitting next to a celebrity right now, because I feel like everyone knows who you are.
But with a name like Buffy, it's hard to hide.
That's true. Buffy, there comes a point in every conversation I have where I ask my guest a collection of questions. They can be rapid fire if we want them to be, but I just got to know you on a professional level, but I kind of want to know who you are at home when you're just chilling, when you're not working. So are you ready for these?
I'm ready.
Questions?
Let's do it.
What is your favorite movie?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Ooh, good choice. I was thinking about that movie today. The wife and I just snagged a little portable outdoor project kind of situation. And so the other night we were she's like, let's be spontaneous and let's just go get this thing. Let's do this thing. And we'll watch a movie on the back porch. Cause it's the fall and it's cool nights. It feels amazing. So we did it. And today at work, I was like, what would really hit right now is the Nightmare Before Christmas on that. Yeah. That'd be super cool.
I have a Nightmare Before Christmas room in my house.
What?
The entire room is all stuff. I have the original movie script autographed, have the poster with all the autographs of the original artists, and everything in the room is Nightmare Before Christmas.
Wow. I'm definitely going to need you to send me a picture of that. That sounds so cool. Wow. I love that. Truly a big fan.
I am. I've loved it forever.
Wow. Now I'm getting McDonald's and watching Nightmare. I know what my evening looks like, folks.
And we even have a big movie screen, and we set it up outside by the fire pit in the fall and watch a movie and have the fire going. So when you come over, we'll set that up. Oh,
what a great time. Buffy, before McDonald's, unless McDonald's is it, what was your first job ever?
Babysitting. McDonald's was my first true gainfully employed job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. What would your walkout song be? You know what I mean by that?
Yeah. My big exit song. That's a good one. I know I used to walk into the songs. I always feel like somebody's watching me because of what I did. But my walkout song, that's a good one. I'll have to let that one resonate in my brain a minute.
Okay. Will do. Additionally, on the music realm, you get to organize yourself a music festival.
Mm.
You get to pick your 3 headliners.
Mm.
They could be alive or dead. Who are they?
So I think if it were like now, because lately I love Kid Rock,
Okay.
I love Pink,
Yep.
and
Choices so
and
far.
Lindsey Sterling.
Ooh,
Very different,
very.
but love
Something
all,
for everybody.
right? Because I'm a violinist.
Really?
I've played for years, and Matt took me to see Lindsey Sterling
Hmm.
not too long ago. He's taken me to see Kid Rock,
Ooh,
and we're
how was
going
that?
phenomenal.
Really?
Best concert.
Dude probably knows how to put on a show.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
That's cool.
And we're planning to go see Pink next year because she's going to be in Atlanta. In
She's a
26.
rocker too.
Yep,
She could put on a freaking show.
absolutely.
Man,
So that's the 3. Yeah.
that's a good 3. That's a great lineup. I love that. I'm going to that festival. On a day, Buffy, that you guys aren't working, on a day that you really have the freedom to do what you want to do, how do you recharge? How do you take care of yourself?
Day, we enjoy being out, like in arts and crafts festivals, music festivals, just out walking around, looking at stuff, right? You can put Matt and I outside at like the Chalk Festival at Marietta Square or the Apple House or any of those outdoor activities for the day. And we can walk around and look at stuff, try foods, try drinks, just enjoy that. And just being together and walking around, that really is a recharge because we're not on our phone. We're not talking to anybody. There's no computer in front of us. And we're not really worried about a bazillion other things. We're just out having a good time, interacting with people, learning about their skills, their crafts, and what they're good at.
I love that. Very good. Is there a particular quote or piece of advice that you've ever been given that you just kind of try to live by every day?
There's probably several of them, but I think probably the thing that I probably say the most is it's God's time. It's God's plan, not mine. And so when things don't go my way or they don't happen as fast as I want them to, I have to remind myself that it's God's timing, not mine. He's got the plan and purpose for my life. And what I think is going to happen and what he's got planned are vastly different. And his way is definitely better.
Very good. I love that too. What's your biggest fear?
Snakes.
Valid. Valid. And then lastly, Buffy, what is your main motivator? What keeps you going? What gets you out of bed every morning? What is your morning drive?
My morning drive is truly making a difference in somebody else's life. It's the ripple. It's being able to do something that helps somebody else every day.
Wow. Very well said. Bubby, this is this has been so much fun. I feel so lucky to be here to get to chatted with you tonight and learn about all the crazy, amazing things that you guys have done over the years and how you've gotten to where you're at and the things that you're doing together. I just think it's super cool and a huge honor for me to be able to sit and chat with you. So thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Other than the sweat lounge that we're in,
God.
it has been.
God. I will be writing a letter.
Right. Please do. Maybe you need to get an AC guy to sponsor your event.
Hey, she's got the mind of a businesswoman,
There
folks.
you go. There you go.
Buffy, go ahead and do me a favor and advertise. Tell people what you do, where to find you, and how to support.
Absolutely. So if you're a woman out there and you're interested in Few, you can visit us at thefewwomen.com and just click on the Atlanta link. It'll take you right to our landing page, tell you where our meetings are and how you can get involved. If you're a veteran first responder and or spouse and family, and you need some help or just want to learn more about some of the resources that are available, visit us at outercirclefoundation.org. If you want like to donate, sponsor, or help a nonprofit who is constantly helping others, we would welcome your money, your donation, your time, your service. Visit our website at outercirclefoundation.org and we will put you to work.
Very good. Very good. Guys, I'll make sure that the links to all of those things are in the description of the episode so that if you're interested in any or all of them, you can scroll down, click what you want, and get involved. Buffy, again, thank you so much for your time tonight. Guys, thank you for tuning in today. Thank you to Good Days. Thank you to Branded and Devoted Designs. Thank you to Fireworks for hosting us. and we'll catch everybody next time. Bye.
Awesome.